Well, hi there. Something a little bit different today. I've been, as you know, if you follow the channel, I go from CNC to other stuff. Well, the other stuff today is I want to create a power wall that has interchangeable cells without soldering or desoldering or all the other welding procedures that you get. So what I've done is that with the help of somebody else on the internet, and I wish I could remember his name, I've kind of developed something like this. So what we have is a Tesla type fuse situation. We have got all the batteries in there. Well, when I fill them up, I'll explain this in a minute. I've 3D printed some bits so that we can make them kind of infinitely stackable. So you could just add another parallel pack, add a parallel pack, add a parallel pack, add a serial pack, whatever. So what we've got is, these are these basic cheap Chinesium battery holders, and all I do is solder in the fuse wires. You can just see them there, and on the negative side, of course, I just solder in some copper. This is good for several amps, so each side of that fuse wire is good for about 5 amps. So if you take those two batteries at the top right there, that's good for 10 amps. And then we've got the copper wire coming at the top, which allows me, as you can see, to stack, to stack that into, bad choice. So we have a plug this end, and we have a socket this end, and they fit together. So you can see I've done one black and grey so that you can see how I do it. Where the wire sits is in those little grooves, and it sits directly under the fingers of the holders, which allows quite a nice situation like that. I'm sure you can see that. If you can't, wish you could. I've hot glued it only really to hold it in place while I solder it, but those little clips do clip in. Yeah, so you can imagine that we can have a pack. Let's spin this around. We can have a pack like this, and then we go, ooh, let's add another pack, and that just slides on there like that. Yeah, and slides into, it's difficult to do with one hand, but you get the point. That slides in, so now we've got a big oak parallel pack. Now this may or may not make sense to a lot of you, but here's one that's loaded. This was one of the early attempts, and you can see way too much hot glue, so I've modified this into the modern one. I don't know why, but I put fuses on both sides. You don't need it. You only need fuses on the positive side, which is why this one has got fuses on the positives, which you can see there, positive, positive, positive. Yep, and then on the negative, I've just breezed them. It's a really simple, quick solder technique. There's nothing complicated about it. It works well. It's how Tesla fuse their battery packs. And that's pretty much it, really. I've got my 3D printers working flat out, printing stuff. I've got that one up there, printing stuff. I've got fish watching, and I've got my array of battery testing, so that I can get the best out of the batteries. The orange ones are 200 milliamp hour batteries, which I've salvaged from an e-bike battery, and I will just intermingle them with the appropriate ones using this great little site, which is Repacker, that allow you to put in all the different milliamp hour settings and different battery packs and all the other bits. So I just thought I would just kind of just drop that in, really, just to see what you think. Like I say, in theory, this should be a pretty much unlimited power wall. So you'll be able to keep sliding these modules on, solder them in place, as you can see what I've done here. So you make the module, solder it, do it in whatever series or parallel configuration you want to do, and just keep adding to your pack. Now obviously there's going to be a current limitation, but most houses, mine included, don't really pull more than 5 kilowatts at a time, and 5 kilowatts through a 48 volt system isn't a huge amount of amps. And when you bear in mind that every single connection, not these but the let's spin this one around, every single fused connection is about 3 to 4 amps. That's with every single cell. You're not going to run out of ampage. The bus bar that runs through might have to be beefed up. At the moment is what I had available to me, so I'm just winging it, to be fair. But I'll let you know. We'll see how we go. I'm keep testing these battery packs, keep testing stuff. It's a case of make it work while you can, and just enjoy it, because it's a very, very interesting subject, and we are getting more and more into the electrification of everything, whether it's cars, motorcycles, boats, planes, you name it. It is coming, and it's how we, I guess it's how we adapt. Battery technology needs to come along a long way. These are lithium-ion cells, which are heavy, to say the least. Obviously, LiFePO 4s, which is a lighter, different iteration of lithium-ion setup, is very, very popular, but also very, very expensive. I mean, these are salvage cells. They're going in my garage, and I'll show you the setup once it's done. And who cares how heavy it is, as long as it doesn't break through the crust of the earth, it doesn't matter, does it? So yeah, so there we go. That's the project so far. It's not my usual fare, but I am looking forward to getting this up and running, and I can't wait to show you, once it's all bolted to the wall in my garage, exactly how it works. It's not going to burn my house down, because mainly Tesla, they really suss this out with these little fuses, because of those will break under extreme stress, and that's exactly what I need. There'll be other safety precautions in there, so there'll be circuit breakers, there will be over voltage protection, there will be BMSs hooked up to these banks. So I will have 4 banks, which will give me a 12 volt nominal, but there will be a 12 volt BMS hooked up to that. So whatever that BMS may be, maybe it's a 40, 50, 60, 100 amp BMS, whatever it is, I will put it in there and make sure that it takes control of everything. So, you know, shit shuts down if the magic smoke starts leaking out. So anyway, there you go. I appreciate your time. If you like the video, then please like and subscribe. I do my best to post as often as I can, but we are so busy in the fabrication shop, and I've got no spare time, because I'm home doing this kind of stuff, and of course I've got to look after these little fur babies, so it's not always easy. I am looking into ant BMSs as well, which are Bluetooth. Well, I mean, there we go. There's one that I've roughed together, and I'm testing that. They seem pretty cool, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. Anyway, as I say, like and subscribe. Many, many thanks for sticking with me through my somewhat diverse content, and I will see you soon. Take care now. Cheers.